You don't have a money problem. You have invisible leaks. Think about it. $8 here for a coffee. $27 there for a streaming service you barely watch. Buy now, pay later apps that make a $100 pair of shoes feel like a $25 steal. That little voice in your head whispering, "I've worked hard this week, I deserve this." Most people don't stay broke because they don't earn enough money. They stay broke because of hidden traps they don't even see. These are the subtle psychological and systemic drains that keep your bank account hovering near zero, no matter how many raises you get. And trap number 5 is the one almost everyone defends with their whole heart, but it is silently destroying your future before it even begins. If you feel like you're running on a financial treadmill, moving fast but staying in the exact same spot, it's because you're fighting against financial gravity. Being broke isn't usually a math problem. Most people know that spending more than you earn is bad. The problem is behavior. We are wired for survival and immediate gratification, not for long-term wealth. Imagine a person who earns $50,000 a year and struggles. They think, if I only made $70,000, all my problems would vanish. Then they get the promotion. They hit $70,000. But suddenly, their car needs an upgrade, they move into a nicer apartment, and they start eating at better restaurants. 2 years later, they are just as stressed as they were at $50,000. This is the cycle that proves income doesn't build wealth. Margin does. Margin is the gap between what you bring in and what you let go of. Without margin, you are just a high-paid passerby for your own money. Let's break down the traps one by one so you can stop the bleeding and start building wealth. Trap number 1 is lifestyle creep. This is the most common reason why people who look rich are actually one paycheck away from total disaster. Lifestyle creep happens when your standard of living rises every single time your income increases. You get a 3% raise at work, and suddenly you decide it's time to trade in your perfectly functional car for a newer model with a higher monthly payment. It feels harmless because you tell yourself you can afford the monthly cost. You think you've earned the upgrade, but why is it dangerous? Because it keeps you in a perpetual state of just getting by. You're essentially trading your future freedom for a temporary boost in status. If you do this for 10 years, you'll find yourself with a garage full of depreciating toys and an empty brokerage account. The compounding effect of investing that extra income over a decade could be the difference between retiring early and working until you're 75. The practical fix is simple, but requires discipline. Lock your lifestyle. When you get a raise, keep your expenses exactly where they are. Take that extra money and send it directly into your investments. The richest people in the world focus on upgrading their assets. The middle class focuses on upgrading their expenses. Trap 2 is subscription bleed. 10,000 tiny charges kill. Modern firms aim to rent products indefinitely, not sell them. One movie app, then a music service, then a gym membership you go to twice a month, then a premium social media site, and you have $300 leaving your account every month before you've bought groceries. It feels safe because each charge is little. $10, right? But the danger lies in the lack of friction. These are automatic, so you ignore them. Losing the psychological anguish of spending money makes adding more simpler. Normalize monthly statement audits to fix this. Review your bank history monthly. Kill services you haven't used in 3 weeks. Cancel everything except the essentials for 1 month as a subscription cleansing challenge. If you really miss it, you may add it back, although 80% of it was noise. If you desire a new digital service, wait 24 hours before selecting subscribe. Trap 3 is I deserve this thinking. Hidden self-care is emotional spending. In our high-stress society, it's easy to rationalize a $40 takeout order or a random online buying binge after a hard day of work as a bad day. Your goal is to buy happiness or relief. It feels good, but it punishes your future self. Stress purchases give a 1-hour dopamine rush that leaves you stressed and poorer. A dangerous feedback cycle occurs when you work harder to pay for the things you bought to forget about work. Break this by replacing dopamine spending with delayed dopamine. Wait 2 days before buying non-essentials. The emotional need usually passes. Remember this pattern interrupt. Comfort spending is comfortable but never pays off. Trap number 4 is high interest debt normalization. We have been conditioned to believe that carrying a balance on a credit card is just a part of adult life. It isn't. Credit cards are treated by most people like a secondary source of income, but they are actually a high-priced loan on your future. The minimum payment illusion is how banks keep you trapped for decades. They show you a small minimum due to make the debt feel manageable, while they charge you 20 to 30% interest. If you carry a $5,000 balance at 25% interest and only pay the minimum, you could end up paying back over $15,000 over several years. The math is compounding against you instead of for you. The quick fix is to stop the bleeding immediately. Use the debt snowball or avalanche method to pay off your balances. Most importantly, automate your payoff so you never miss a date and never pay a cent in interest again. If you can't pay for it in cash today, you can't afford it. Trap 5 is this list's emotional peak, low income standards, because you're most likely to protect it. This trap is the most hazardous. Many are broke because they quit working, not because they spend too much. Their employment is hardly enough to subsist. They cease requesting raises, stop accumulating new talents that would boost their market value. They don't have time for side work, but spend 3 hours a day on social media. Fear of switching jobs or failing keeps them in low-paying employment for years. Realize that your tiny desire may be your biggest expense. If you can earn $100,000 but settle for $50,000, you're paying $50,000 to your fear. Follow the increase income once per year rule to fix this. Your total income must increase annually, whether from a promotion, new employment, or side gig. Develop a skill ROI mindset. Only learn things with a high ROI. Worry more on boosting income than lowering expenses. Trap 6, investing late or not at all. Many people wait for more money before investing, but often fall into other traps first. Fear of the market or the assumption that starting costs thousands keeps you away. The hidden cost of waiting is dangerous. A 20-year-old who invests $100 a month will likely have more than a 40-year-old who invests $1,000 a month because to compound interest. Time is the most valuable asset in wealth creation, and every day you delay increases your financial freedom cost. Waiting costs are hidden until they mount. Even with $20, start now. Hit some rapid-fire tiny traps that are stifling you. Finance depreciating items like yachts and new vehicles that lose value when driven off the lot. Being lottery-minded and hoping for a big win or crypto moonshot instead of a stable foundation. Keeping up with fake social media lives. Lack of emergency funds pushes you to use high-interest credit cards when a tire pops. Last, not tracking your wealth. It can't be managed without measurement. These things seem tiny, but they limit your potential. None of these traps appear harmful. They feel natural since everyone does them. Your neighbors have vehicle payments, friends have subscriptions, and coworkers think, I deserve this. That's why they work. The system is meant to keep you working and spending, not rich. It wants you to stay in debt to keep you employed. You must stop being a normal consumer to escape. Which trap hit you worst in your life? Was it subscriptions? The lifestyle creep? Is it your low earnings expectations? Time for a 5-step reboot. Audit all 90-day expenses first. Deactivate 3 reoccurring charges today. Third, master 1 new skill this month to move from saving pennies to earning thousands. Fourth, automate investment to withdraw funds before spending. Fifth, track your net worth monthly. The number is real. Face it and see it grow. Regain your authority and achieve financial freedom this way. You have the skills and knowledge. Action is all that remains. Don't forget this video. Comment here with 1 trap you're eliminating immediately. Hold each other accountable. If this message resonates, watch our next video on mastering money habits and creating wealth. Your future self depends on your decisions today. Resist the pitfalls.